Welcome to a
Action.
new
Okay.
welcome to a new episode of Bro Ups. We're going to be discussing the Michael Jordan The Last Dance. Gary, if you could look a bit more enthusiastic. Um, we with the two episodes coming out weekly, we thought we'd do like a special edition of Bro Ups already.
Hot topic.
Hot topic, yep, and get those views in hopefully because we have big opinions, a lot of knowledge.
Bigger penis.
Yeah, and we're very we love basketball, so we're going to express that now. So yeah, before we start, obviously we got to crack open a beer. We wouldn't be bro ups if we weren't going to crack open a beer, would we?
Hmm. I've only got water.
Oh, I got a nice splash from that one.
Yeah, I already opened mine.
Oh,
It's in a beer glass though, so that would do.
one day we'll get it right, all of us. Okay, so The Last Dance. Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman,
Bruce Forsyth.
Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson, and the rest of them. So yeah, the obviously the documentary starts from the 97 to 98 season, going in from what, 5 wins in a row? Were they in a row? I'm
What?
not sure. The
From
the
the one they
No.
struggling at the start of that season.
Wasn't it 3 in a row? And then
So they were going for their second
Oh, I
Then
see.
time.
You mean
for another-
championships. They were going
three
for
in
the
a row.
three-peat.
Yeah, okay.
second three-peat.
So
Yeah.
the documentary is obviously based on this last season of them all being together before things go, I imagine, go pear-shaped. Yeah, so guys, what do you think of the documentary so far? Let's start with episode whatever. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, I can't really remember what order it all happened because I just watched them one after the other. But I thought it was really good. I don't really know much about any of what happened. Obviously, I've seen a lot of like highlights of Michael Jordan playing. Haven't actually seen him playing in games or whatever. Like watching that footage back, but you only really know highlights. But I didn't know anything about like what actually happened. I didn't even know there was like beef in that last season or whatever, and it all went wrong. I didn't even know that Scottie Pippen was as good as he was. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was thought to be as good as he was. So then the whole things with the contract and stuff that we'll probably get into later. But yeah, for me it was just all like I didn't know anything about it, so it was all really interesting as well as being about basketball. So that's cool as well.
Yeah. What about you, Gary?
Same really. My knowledge of basketball sort of started sort of to the end of Michael Jordan's sort of career. So
Like
that's
the
my
Washington
sort of
Wizards
knowledge.
stage, yeah.
Yeah, maybe even later thinking about it when I actually started really actually watching it and being interested in trades and all that sort of stuff. But obviously I knew about it all, how many rings he had and whatnot. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I just thought, yeah, I'll just say that for now and
Yeah.
get into what I actually thought like in a bit.
I was shocked by that footage. Obviously, it starts off with the fact that they agreed on their last I'll take my glasses off. Actually, they agreed on their last dance last season together that they would let this camera crew basically film whatever they wanted. And I think it's shocking that they've leaked footage before, or I don't know. I don't know if anyone's used the footage before, but it's mad that what is it like now? 23 years later, we're now seeing it. Like, how long
Yeah.
have people owned that footage? And I think that's what's crazy is like obviously you get all these different documentaries on like Amazon Prime and Netflix.
Yeah, but it's
Football
Jordan's
Club.
footage. He owns it.
Oh, he owns it.
Yeah, that's his footage. He allowed them to record it all.
Jeez, he really was like the big dog then, wasn't
Yeah.
he? But
Yeah,
that's
Then
what
it just wanted time to release it.
it just seems mad that it's been this long, when, and now it's come out. I like obviously really appreciate it, the fact that we're all in isolation at the moment. It's something to watch on a weekly basis. I do wish it was all out in one go, but at least it gives us something to talk about now on a weekly basis.
It stretches it out a bit as well. Otherwise, you just binge it, don't you? And then it's all done in like.
And you don't take it in.
So, yeah, and I mean the amount of things there are to watch, you can just watch something else while you wait. So I don't think it's too much of a problem. I don't mind like, and I think as well because there's quite a lot of information. I think in it is in terms of like names and it going back and forth through the timelines and stuff. Actually, it's quite nice. Just like after 2 episodes, I felt like I couldn't really watch more anyway.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of like, oh, this is good, but I don't I'm done with it for now, and not in a bad way. Just that like I can wait until next week to watch a couple more or whatever.
Yeah, maybe like cause I can't really, as you said, I can't really remember how the episodes now were laid out. Obviously, the first episode started with that who's that little guy?
Kraus.
Jeff something wasn't it?
Yeah,
Krause,
Jeff Krause. So obviously he made this like massive.
the bad guy from Space Jam.
yeah. That actually could be modelled on him.
Yeah,
That wouldn't
I saw
surprise
someone
me.
about it.
You heard it
I
here
didn't know if it
first.
was a joke or not.
You heard it here first on Bro Ups.
Part of the press.
Yeah. So yeah, started off with him obviously getting making like some big trades. So Jordan obviously was drafted to the Bulls, third pick, which I didn't know either. I didn't know what pick he was,
No.
and I didn't realize he was in the same draft as Elijah Wan, the like Houston Rockets big man.
Yeah.
But so yeah, started off with him getting drafted and then playing a year, having an amazing rookie season, which we've all seen highlights of. And I'm guessing that was when he was number 45 as well for a period of time, wasn't he? But I didn't actually see anything on that. Was he a number
He's number
45?
23 the whole time.
I was going to say there was a time where he was number 45, though, weren't there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm pretty
seeing
sure he's
jerseys.
drafted 23 because I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at maybe he borrowed someone's jersey or something. But
Yeah, they
then-
often borrow each other's jerseys.
Michael Jordan's just playing pickup games in front of 30,000 people.
I'll look up when you guys start talking. But he was then injured in the second season, but like secretly playing or whatever when he shouldn't have been, which is
back at
mad. You
college.
never get away with it now. Like,
No.
can you just imagine if LeBron was like playing back at his college, like not that he went to college, sorry, playing back at a college.
Yeah.
The cameras
You
everywhere.
just wouldn't know because there's team. That's what I mean. Everyone's got a phone in there now as well, haven't they? With a camera on it, so there's just no way of sneaking that kind of thing now.
Yeah, and obviously, like Jeff Krause made this big move to get. I can't even remember the players he got in the end, but basically did he get Scottie Pippen or did they already have Scottie Pippen?
No, they drafted.
They
Did they trade for the draft for Scotty?
Yeah,
Or
someone
had
else
that?
drafted him, and then they swapped. They traded.
Oh, yeah.
I think
they
it was
traded.
the Supersonics.
Yeah, was it the year after or
Oh.
the 2 years after? I think it was
It's
87.
like 87. It was like 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
literally on draft night. They agreed it before even the draft, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
reporters come up to him and literally told him and didn't even have a clue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the reporters, yeah.
He's still wearing the hat for the other team. I think it was Seattle, wasn't it? But I'm not.
Yeah,
not
I
I
think it
can't,
100%.
was.
I can't remember who they traded for. I know they traded away Charles Oakley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Traded
Oh.
away him, and he was a big player for New York Knicks.
So I'm just trying to find a screenshot of. Well, we'll move on to the main thing, the most surprising thing, I think, and then we'll see where it filters off from there. But obviously, I knew Scottie Pippen was good. I didn't realize he was as good as he was, like you said, Nath.
Yeah.
But looking at this screenshot I've got, I'll try and put it up on here. But if I read it out to you guys, so in the 97 to 98 season, the last dance, when it was all kicking off, obviously Phil Jackson's last season, which also I didn't know Phil Jackson was the coach of the Chicago Bulls. Okay, so at the top of the salary, Michael Jordan, 33.14 million, or 33,140,000 or whatever. We'll just say 33. Tony Kukoc, which I only know him because of NBA 2K, 4.5 million. Ron Harper, 4.5 million. Dennis Rodman, 4.5 million. Luke Longley, 3.1 million, and Scottie Pippen, 2.7 million. So
Yeah.
the second best player in the league that they said in that documentary, he was like the second best player in the league with like his assists, rebounds, like just defensive and points and stuff, is getting paid 31 million less than Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
It's nuts. I didn't know anything about it. It's just like, I guess it was kind of help. But one thing that annoyed me the most was just like the owner of the Bulls was like, there's no renegotiating your contract, blah blah blah. Like he's saying
Even
like
though
that,
he
people
admitted
accepted it.
that the contract was shit.
Yeah,
Contract
he
was
said
crap,
to him,
yeah.
"Oh, I don't think you should take it. I don't think you should take it." Then he should have said, "We'll renegotiate something else." Then.
Yeah, you think after they'd won like 5, well, even before then, after they'd won 3 championships, maybe you'd give some credit to one of your key players and like
That is
sit them
literally
down.
that time though, isn't it? Super rich white man doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah,
some guy who had 2 disabled people in his family, his fucking dad and his brother, 11 brothers and sisters or
Yeah.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
and coming from, they didn't even know how poor they were, but they were
No.
obviously super poor,
Yeah.
and just someone taking advantage of them, really.
And
That's
obviously,
what I
like,
saw something. I'm sorry.
go on, Nate. Sorry.
I was saying I saw someone tweeted it was about it, and they were saying how like, people coming from a background of poverty and stuff, like even that you wouldn't have any idea how much that money would be. You know, that would be such a massive amount of money. You wouldn't see it in however long it was going to be. That it wasn't going to be as much money as a load of other
Well,
players.
like him signing
So
that
like I think
7-year deal.
yeah, it'd be hard to put it into perspective. I think it was Magic Johnson said that when he got into the NBA, he was offered stocks in Nike or like money from Converse. So he took the Converse offer because it was like money right now. And obviously, like if he'd have taken the stocks in Nike, then he'd be like it'd be worth I don't know, a ridiculous amount
Yeah.
more now because of how popular Nike I think was like starting up at the time or something like that. And now obviously it's like one of the biggest sports
That's
companies
mad.
in the world. And
It's
something
got to
that
be, yeah.
but you don't
It's got to be
have
the
that
biggest, doesn't it?
education to know that I wouldn't know what like about all that kind of stuff. And so like most people wouldn't, you know, it's just that so I think it's kind of one of those things.
As Scottie Pippen said, he didn't. He obviously had so many people to provide for, and he just didn't
Yeah.
know what could happen any minute. You could. Well, he's seen 2 of his family members paralyzed, so he knows for a fact that any time it can happen. Like life can change so quickly. So
Yeah.
you can understand. Well, I don't know. I feel like his agent probably should have done a better job, but like you're gonna grab at
I don't
everything
think
you
he
can.
even had. I don't think he even had an agent, did he?
It wouldn't
Did
surprise
he?
me. He didn't. He never talked about one. So
No, I don't think he did. Back in that time, I don't think it was a very popular thing. But you
only
can
for
see from Michael Jordan, he got a contract like that because you look at both his parents, who were obviously well
yeah.
educated, knew what they were doing. They were clever people. They would have said to him, "Don't take no silly deal. Look at who you are. Look at what you can do. You're the face of this franchise." Like,
Yeah.
but Scottie Pippen, who did he have to get experience or knowledge from?
Yeah, so I'm guessing Scottie Pippen's younger than Michael Jordan as well. Then, if he,
He came in a few years later, didn't he?
so he must be younger.
Hmm.
Which seemed weird how they were treating him, though. I'll just check his age.
Then some of them stayed like an extra few years at college basketball, didn't they? Patrick Ewing, he was drafted first, but he was in the same year as Jordan, was he? He was after, even though they played in that final against each other.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
thinking because
His coach told him to put himself into the draft, didn't he? As
yeah.
a sophomore, was it? I can't remember.
Okay, yeah. So Michael Jordan's 57, Scottie Pippen's 54. It just seems strange though because the way they were talking about him was like he was on his way out, like he was old, but Michael Jordan was older than him anyway.
Oh yeah, they were saying that about the whole team, weren't they? Like
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman and that as well. They were saying that like they could see that the team was coming to an end, kind of thing. Like but they're hanging on to Michael Jordan. I guess maybe it's because, well, like you look at players playing now, like LeBron James is like what 35, and he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. I think you just have those players that don't. Maybe those guys were at the time though that they were slowing down a bit. I don't know.
It's not that also, it's what they sell, isn't it? Jordan's selling jerseys like
Yeah,
no one else.
he's like the
They
David
don't
Beckham of the NBA, wasn't he?
they don't need anyone else really, do they, for money wise, for it to be a
Yeah.
business. What apart from obviously the Scottie Pippen terrible contract, what do you think of him with the foot surgery?
Oh yeah, I see. If that's what you wanted to do it. Like, it seems like he's done a lot for that team, and they're not giving him anything back. So why do something for them? Anyone would do it with any job. I think. Like, if your company's not treating you right, you don't want to do anything to help them, do you?
No.
So I think if he wanted to have a summer without having to recover, then go for it.
Yeah. What about you, Gary?
Yeah, I agree. Fuck them. They're
Yeah.
treating him like shit. Nah, they're a bunch of dickheads, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Glad. I think I wouldn't say right decision, but he's got every right to make that decision. I think do it that way. Yeah, probably pissed off his teammates, but I don't know.
He probably
Then
didn't feel like he had anyone on his side, did he? So yeah.
no,
I was going to be like the against you guys, but I can't even support like.
I do feel like Jordan could actually helped him.
Mm. Yeah,
I
I
feel
feel
like
he come
Jordan
across a
had
bit greedy.
so much power to do whatever and make whatever decisions and talk to his GM like it was a piece of shit
Yeah,
and help your number two out then.
yeah. I
Mm.
feel like he could have done a LeBron and like, I want this guy, this guy, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't seem
Renegotiate
to.
contract. Jordan said renegotiate contract or I'm going to. They
Yeah.
would have done it.
Yeah, because he
It
banged on
seems
about how good Scotty was and that how he
Yeah.
needed him and like he was the best person to have next to him and do the dirty work, but he's not willing to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all weird as in like the whole like it's like you were saying earlier as well about how they were just decided that they need to like rebuild the team. It's like, well, they just won 2 championships in a row. Like, why are you looking at rebuilding? I don't
yeah.
understand. Like, why? And like getting a new coach. Oh, didn't the coach and Jeff not get along or something? They had a bit of a. They felt because he
I
didn't
think there'll
invite
be
him to his
more.
wedding and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think as it goes on, there'll be more
Sort
that they
of,
show.
yeah,
But yeah, like if you the goal like Golden State did the same. Like they won it for so long, but then obviously, what's
but
it
there was
called?
injuries, wasn't it? Rather than them
Injuries,
wanting to rebuild.
and Kevin Durant wanted to leave, and then but there was what's
Yeah,
the tax salary thing after a certain
cap
amount of
salary.
time. Yeah, there's like a tax as well. So
Luxury
like
tax.
that's it.
Uh,
So then you start paying. I don't know if that was the case back then though.
They did
But
have a salary cap back then because I remember I heard on a podcast today I was listening to that I'm pretty sure the cap salary at that time was like 15 million or something.
oh, okay,
Shoot, all over one of them years, but
yeah. Hence them being so unlike less paid than Michael Jordan.
but I feel like because this is Jordan's footage and he's documentary, I feel like you're missing out on a lot because it's his documentary.
He
Why are
doesn't
you
want
going
to
to
put
have someone
himself in
come on
a.
to here, yeah, and say bad stuff about him? He was a fucking dick in the locker room. Scottie Pippen could have, if it wasn't his documentary, he could have gone there just well, Jordan could have said something.
Mm.
He talked to the GM like said whatever he wanted. Do you think if he had a good relationship with the GM and the other players did, would that GM wanted to break that team up when he did?
Mm.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Because
you're
if
not
he
going
would
to
have
end
had
on
if
a
he would have
streak.
had like a good relationship with all the players, he would have kept him.
Mm. Yeah, he just wanted Jordan.
Yeah. I don't
And
know.
obviously, like the decisions of why they're doing it and that they were explained a little bit, but I don't think they're the actual genuine reason. And they didn't really go into detail as to. It was basically like, I don't like Phil Jackson. I don't like Scottie Pippen. That's how it came across. And I think that Jeff Krause, like, he just expected them to like. He'd done obviously his bit at the beginning, which was really good. And he was like they mentioned how good that move was to make those trades at the right time, but then it felt like that was his legacy already and that everyone should respect him and like kiss his feet. And definitely now thinking back to it, that Space Jam alien is definitely modeled on him. Like it definitely is, especially if Jordan had something to do with Space Jam like that.
Space Jam's now on Netflix as well, isn't it? Apparently, I don't know if it is for sure, but I've seen someone post about it.
Yeah, I'm
Have you
pretty
seen
sure
it?
when I searched Michael Jordan to find the documentary, Space Jam came up.
Maybe you could just watch Space Jam and find out what happens in the rest of the documentary.
Yeah. What did you guys think? I actually really I'll start, but I really liked obviously when Scotty was out. And then Jordan was like, right, I've basically got to be an asshole to everyone. Like to get them to
Yeah,
work and to like hustle, I've
yeah.
basically got to treat them like shit. Like he was like the drill sergeant all of a sudden. And like that made me think back to like our games, like when we played basketball. And like when you're like, I weren't there. I definitely wasn't the best player, but like because I was like kind of the guy in charge, you have to kind of be the bad guy and the good guy. And I just loved how Jordan was like, right, I'm a dick now. This is what's happening, and like riding on him like the whole training session and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's I like seeing like the behind the scenes, like when you see like how because it's weird thinking of teams like professional teams like training and like being just like as it's a job, you forget that like they have to do all the other stuff as well. You just see the games and stuff. So I think it's interesting when you see them like training and just going to general meetings and stuff like that. Like it's cool seeing that side of it and seeing what he's actually like in that scenario as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is also like a product of Phil Jackson, because that must be his coaching style to have that style of player, like, because Kobe was the same, wasn't he? He used
Yeah.
to tell everyone exactly what he thought, what you're doing and what you're not doing. And obviously Phil Jackson was there during the Lakers and that when they were that good. And yeah, I just feel like he's just so laid back, wasn't he? He's happy to sit back and he just like, yeah, I'll just take one more year. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be angry and bitter about it. Yeah, one more chance. Get
Yeah.
another ring. But
He like find that one player who is like the captain basically,
yeah,
and then get them not to do his dirty work, but if a coach goes in and tries to ride on people all session, people will be like, "Oh, fuck that guy." Like, but if it's the best player in the team who's like who depends on you and is like riding on you the whole session, like you can be like, "Fuck, I need to try harder." Like, or this guy's gonna carry on and carry on.
Well, it's that respect thing as well, isn't it? You know, when you're a new guy going into the team, that like there's the guy, you know, the captain of the team. You know, there's a reason why they're the captain normally. So that's, you know, you want to impress them. Just you've probably been growing up watching them as well, like. So it's kind of like wanting to impress your hero almost as well.
Yeah,
So
because he'd been in the
probably
league like over 10 years by then as well. So
And
yeah,
like when you come in, you want to be better than the best player. Obviously, like trying to be better than Michael Jordan is a big
yeah.
ask.
Who said that? It was Scotty,
It's,
wasn't it?
Scottie Pippen said it, didn't he?
And he got like a smack round the head or
They were
something.
bullying him for it.
Yeah. Mm. I'm looking forward to them going into more detail with Dennis Rodman as well, because he was like super like controversial and super like just did not fit well with the guys. Like, I don't know. Seeing him with them anyway is like weird because he's like kind of so out there. But yeah, I look forward to the rest of the documentary when we see more of his shenanigans as well.
Yeah, definitely. Want to see more game footage as well. I thought the footage that showed from playing Boston was really cool, like in the playoffs. Like,
Yeah,
seeing all like Larry Bird and stuff as well. Like
and them
they
talking
look
about
like
how
their
good
team
he
look like
was.
such they look like such geeks or something. It's like
They look like the rich white team of like the league.
yeah.
Like the private school.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
it
think
was
like
cool.
the rest of the documentary like is going to be super interesting, and
It's
like
mad how many points he got as well, like in those
yeah,
playoffs. Obviously, considering that was like his second season, wasn't it? Like, I feel like obviously LeBron's usually used as a comparison now, but like I didn't pay as much attention when LeBron was like a rookie and stuff. But like it seemed that like Michael Jordan just had an impact from the offset, you know, like from
it
rookie
makes me want to go
seasons.
back to LeBron's footage as well now and like start watching his
Yeah,
older games.
yeah, because I know he's definitely can't like hit the floor running as well, didn't he? But like I don't.
he didn't drop 60-something points in his second
That's
year in the
yeah,
playoffs, so did he?
Yeah,
no, yeah.
and also like they both didn't shoot that many threes. I don't think.
Mm.
I'm
Well, I guess
also
with Michael Jordan back then, that wasn't as
no.
much of a thing, was
There
it?
wasn't even
Even
a
though
3-point line, was there? In his college games.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I can't
really
remember.
early there wasn't. No,
No.
back then they used to just play dunking, layup, or mid-range max,
Yeah.
Mm.
didn't they? Taking a 3-point shot just seemed too high a risk for one extra point. I don't think that's how they thought about it, wasn't it?
Mm.
You can see as well when they showed the scores from the games how much you can see the difference in how low the
Yeah.
score in the games were.
I feel like
Like
that's
they,
teams actually playing defense as well.
yeah. Well, they talked about how many players that were like good on defense, and like they put them on Michael Jordan or whatever because that was their best defender. Like, obviously, still best defenders now, but it's definitely not like, oh, we're playing the Pacers. They're a strong defensive team. It's just like we're just going to try and outscore them. It's a bit more.
Yeah, if I think of like a player in the NBA now, like, or sorry, not even now, the most recent like defensive player, the only one I can think of like off the top of my head is like, do you remember Tony Allen, like for like the Grizzlies or whatever?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
I know.
remember them like banging on about how good he was defensively, but like I can't think apart from him and I was going to say Patrick Beverly, but he kind of shot himself in the foot with the Lakers. Was it the Lakers game where he got absolutely owned and was saying that LeBron's got nothing on him and stuff?
Was that when he was trying to like walk into him instead of just being a
Yeah,
nuisance?
but I
Yeah.
can't think of any defensive players now.
Well, they got
Yeah,
like Kawhi and Paul George and stuff. They get a lot of steals
Yeah,
and
they're
things,
they're
don't
just
they?
classed as like two-way players now. Though there's no
Yeah, it's not
like
not
oh
like pure defense.
yeah
What about big
when
guys?
I think of
yeah
defense, I for some reason always in my head is Ben Wallace
yeah.
Yeah.
for Detroit, and Detroit was a good defensive team. Hamilton and Tyshawn Prince, and
I remember watching like the playoffs, and then that's when I first started like watching basketball properly, and like recording Channel 5 and stuff, and recording Channel 5 and stuff, and seeing like the behind the scenes of the Pistons and the Spurs, and that was sick.
It would be good to see more teams doing that as well. I think like it's because you don't really get to see. You see parts like bits of it where they'll get a steal or a block or whatever, but you don't see so many like teams just putting another team on lockdown and just like getting like fast break points and stuff like that as much. Like I think that would be cool just to see something. But now it's just kind of like score, 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 score.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a
Just
look
who's going
on
to best team.
Netflix what the if they have a description for the next two episodes.
Yeah.
Because I
I think
thought
it's good. It's well made as well. I like how they go. So back more about talk about too much other stuff, haven't we? I like how the documentary switches between like well not present, but like current, more current, and like the goes back to like the 80s and then back to the 90s. I think that's a good way of kind of like getting all the information, but not just making it just like right. We're going to start at the beginning. Michael Jordan got into the NBA here. He did this season. This season, you can like
yeah
it keeps the storylines fresh almost. Like okay, now we're getting a bit more of the finals in the 90s, and then now we're finding a bit more about how he got to where he was. I think that's a good way of doing it, and I think they do it well. And
yeah they don't have descriptions on them. I've seen if we could finesse them and then start talking like just chat about next week. But yeah, I think obviously episode 3 and 4 are out next Monday, which is the 27th. So
yeah,
we'll have another episode out. We'll try and probably structure it a bit better next. We'll actually maybe I'll put some notes down for us to cover. But I think like we're just kind of discussing it as fans anyway. Obviously, when we all started playing basketball, I think Michael Jordan was playing or was going to the Wizards by then. Or like I remember like someone giving me the tape of his last game, which we're bound to see at some point, like near the end. But spoiler alert, he goes to
spoiler
the
alert.
Wizards. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
jinx.
But yeah, if you guys have got anything to add about the first two episodes, and if not, we'll conclude.
No, I think if you like basketball, definitely watch it. Even if you don't like basketball, I think it's still pretty interesting if you're into sport and want to know a bit more about Michael Jordan. Like everyone knows Michael Jordan, so it's a bit of drama and everything.
Gary, your mic's muted, by the way, still.
hello.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. I feel like it's perfect timing because sort of fueled the need for basketball at the moment because we haven't got anything to watch and it should be the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Maybe missed the playoffs big time though.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah, definitely.
it's good timing. But yeah, I just think it's bullshit because Michael Jordan's owns it, and I just feel like we're not hearing what we need to hear. Like Michael Jordan was a big cocaine head, used to get hookers, and
We've probably got
fucking
that.
loads.
We've probably got that to come. But I'm glad we've got someone who's against it
Well,
as
he's
well.
banging through the whiskey when he was being interviewed as well, whatever that was in this
How
class.
fucking yellow his eyes are. He used to get bang on it.
I was wondering
Fucked
if
up,
you
man.
yeah, he looked like he was like pretty calm in the
Well, like
in the old...
after how many years of just playing basketball all day, every day, and like not drinking or whatever, like you're right to go a bit off the rails when you stop playing. I think.
especially with that amount of money. Sniff him
Yeah.
off a nice
He
Jordan
was a
1.
teammate of Dennis Rodman. There's no way he weren't going to sex parties and shit and doing crazy fucked up LSD and shit. I don't know.
Well, we've probably got that to come, Gary. You're spoiling it for everyone.
I hope so.
But yeah, this was Bro Ups, first episode of The Last Dance. Hopefully you'll like the thumbnail that I am imagining now. I'm hoping that I can put our faces on the Chicago Bulls team. And we'll see you guys same time next week for the Last Dance. And be sure to check out Bro Ups episode 3 this Saturday and every Saturday. So I'm trying to keep up with a major schedule. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye now. If you
Check
don't
out
mind.
my OnlyFans.
it.